Hi, my name is Angela. Welcome to Natangela's Cooking Channel. Today I'm going to be making an Italian dish that my grandmother made years ago, which is pretty much popular amongst the Italians. It's really nutritious, and during the war years of World War II and the Great Depression, we made a dish called potato and egg frittata. So I want to show you the potatoes you're going to need. Like these potatoes are small. Okay, if you want to use large potatoes, you're going to need about 5 potatoes to make this dish. You will also need about 5 large eggs, large to extra large eggs, about a half a cup of locatelli cheese or Romano cheese. I suggest that you use the imported kind and not the kind that's on the store shelves, because it's a totally different taste and it makes a big difference. So I already have these potatoes peeled, so I'm going to cut the potatoes up, and you're going to want to cut them like this. And you want to make the potato all the same size. Okay, so that they cook evenly in the pot. So you don't want to make pieces that are thicker than other pieces, because they're not, because obviously the thinner pieces will cook quicker than the thicker pieces, and you don't want that. You want them to all cook nice and even and delicious. So I'm going to cut these up, and then we're going to get started. Okay. And you know, when I was a child, there wasn't much money, and you know, we grew up poor, but my nonna always made potatoes and eggs, and we kids, we loved it. We didn't even put ketchup on it, you know, it was so good. My kids like it. It's just a really good meal to have. And a sandwich, it's good to serve for breakfast. You could do a lot with this. You could add some peppers and onions and whatever you like. You could add ham in it, you know, chunks of ham or bacon to make a breakfast frittata. But this frittata is just going to be a plain potato and egg frittata. So whatever you guys want to put in this frittata for yourselves, I'm sure it'll turn out really delicious. Put some onions in there. You know, just whatever you fancy. So I'm just going to keep cutting these. And before we get to the frying part, and as you can see, I'm trying to cut them pretty much all the same size and all the same thickness so that they cook even in the frying pan. This is a very nutritious meal, and that's what people ate years ago, Italian people, when times were tough and there was no meat. That's how people survived, and it's quite good. I mean, I just see things a whole lot differently these days than back when I was a child, when people actually cooked from scratch. your food tastes much better when you cook it yourself from scratch. You know, they got a lot of stuff out there and with a lot of chemicals, and I don't recommend it. I really don't. Of course I eat it myself, but I try not to whenever I can help it. Hello, welcome back. And right now I put some oil in the pan. Okay, I like to use vegetable oil. If you want to use olive oil, that's fine, but I like to use vegetable oil for this. And you also want to cook it on like a little bit lower than medium heat, just because you don't want to scorch your food. It's very important not to scorch your food. This is a dish that you want to take your time and really let the potatoes cook slowly. And you want to put some pepper. You know, you just season it to what you like. If you like onions in it, which I do, but my son Patrick doesn't. So you could put salt, pepper, onions. You could put some green peppers in here. You could put some bacon, and this would make a lovely breakfast meal. So what you want to do is you want to just let this cook, and you want to put the lid back on it. And what you need to do is you need to constantly watch it, okay? Because you don't want your potatoes to get brown. If your potatoes get brown, it's going to alter the taste of the frittata. So it's best to take the time to really be patient and cook it slowly so that you'll have the best result. So right now I'm just going to leave that cook there for a minute, and we'll pick it back up. Hi, welcome back. And I'm here cooking the potatoes, and as you can see, a couple pieces got a little brown, but that's fine. It's like when the majority of them are brown, it's not good, but I should have been paying more attention. I got a lot of things going on. Always have like many things going on. One thing I want to say is when you fry your potatoes for a frittata, you're going to need a really good non-stick pan. I do not recommend Teflon. Teflon is not good, okay? If you like Teflon, then you use Teflon, but I just don't like it. I bought this frying pan. This is the first time actually I'm using it. It is a copper non-stick frying pan, and I think it might be one of those as seen on TV products, but I'm not really sure. But it is a copper non-stick. So now the other thing I want to show you all is you lower the heat down to low, because if you don't lower the heat down to low after that frying pan gets hot it's going to scorch your potatoes, and you really want to cook the potatoes slow. So just going to let this cook for another minute just to get it real hot. And you know, I really enjoy making this. This frittata's been in my family for over 100 years. You know, it was passed down from my grandmother's generation to our generation of Italian people. And I wanted to put these recipes on YouTube so that people could enjoy them and learn how to make them and have them, you know. So So you want to make sure your potatoes are soft, like this. They cut nice and easy. So they're pretty much ready. So now we want to take our frying pan. Oops. Now we want to come over here to the table. And, sorry. We want 5 eggs. Okay, you want to put some little bit of salt, or if you don't want salt, that's fine, salt and pepper. And here's your ½ cup of locatelli or Romano, whichever you prefer. Make sure you get the imported cheese and not the store shelf cheese. Big difference. And you want to mix that all up real good to where it looks nice and mixed up. And then the next thing I want to do is, I'll be right back. Next thing you want to do, you want to get your potatoes. Okay, and you want to put your potatoes in your eggs like this. Some of them are a little bit golden, you know. I mean, I really don't really like them this golden, but I wasn't paying attention and I didn't lower the heat early enough, but it'll still be good. It'll still be good. So, with that said, you want to mix your potatoes and your eggs and with the cheese in it, and you want to mix all that up. Mix it up real good, like so. And then what you want to do is, and this is the important part, okay? You want to take your eggs and your spatula, and you want to bring this back over here, okay? And there seems to be enough oil because I don't really want it greasy, and this is a really good pan. You want to put all this in here. Let's get all this nice in here in the frittata in the frying pan, and you want it distributed evenly, like this. You want it distributed evenly. Now, if you want to put a little more pepper on it or whatever, and it'll be pretty delicious. And see, you could see the golden pieces in there, but they're not real, like, charred. Normally, I don't like any golden pieces, but as I said, I'm doing, and you want to let that cook for about 2 minutes. Okay, so let me set the timer for 2 minutes. And you cannot, I do not recommend walking away from the stove while this is cooking. Okay, and you want to leave the lid on, because when you leave the lid on, you let all these juices, it cooks it very thoroughly. And the reason why you want to cook your food slow, and I know I'm repeating myself, but it's really important. You want to cook your food slow so that your food doesn't scorch, that all the flavors get in there, that it's nice and tender without being burned on one side, raw on the inside, and your food comes out really delicious. That's a very, very important cooking tip, to not scorch your food. The next thing we want to do is we want to get a plate. Like so. Do not, this is important, do not walk away when this is cooking like this, because you will burn it. I have burned it so many times, and I'm like, oh, you know, no good. Nobody likes burned food, especially me. But it's all part of the learning process. Okay, so our timer went off. Okay, and you see how it's cooking. I think it could use about another minute. It doesn't look done to me, like I can't turn the stove up. I'm going to turn the stove up just a tad bit. Okay, let it cook. All right. Okay, I'm just checking on it. Okay, now if you see, you could see it over here that it's cooked on the one side, like I can tell. See, if you look real closely, you'll see the cooked part of the egg over there. So now we want to take a dish and we want to take the dish, and so now we want to take the dish and we want to take it like this and we want to flip it like this. You got to really hold it good, okay, and you want to flip it. See how that looks? Now it's cooked on the one side, okay? You have a couple golden potatoes in there, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. And you want to put it on this side, okay? And the same thing, cook it for about 2 minutes. And, you know, I remember when I was a little girl, my grandmother used to make this for us kids. We were so poor, and it's like we only had meat on Sunday. We ate a lot of Italian peasant food, which I'm going to upload on my channel, those wonderful recipes, which are vegan friendly. They're delicious, you know, either as a soup or you could put them over a baked potato. Whatever you want. It's really good food. And I can't wait to share that with you all. So we're going to let this cook. Now normally when you flip it over, it doesn't take as long because it's already cooked on the one side. You just got to keep it covered, and you just got to use your best judgment. You got to use your best judgment. But you definitely need a non-stick pan. Otherwise, it's not going to come out. It's not going to come out. And this here, see, this here. Let's take that out. And it looks like it's done. And that's it. That's your potato and egg frittata. So thank you for watching my channel, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.